Hello everyone, my name is Estevan Fisk and today I will be showing you how to create a program in Visual Basic on how to add fractions. We start off by describing the layout. We have here fraction 1 where we have a text box in the numerator and a text box in the denominator. We've added a label with the plus sign indicating that we'll be adding these two fractions. In the second fraction we've done the same thing. We have a text box in the numerator and a text box in the denominator. We've now input an equal sign with the label to give us our answer. Now for this program, we'll be giving you the answer in both fraction form and decimal form. One thing I do want to let you know is that our fraction form, the denominator will be a common denominator, but it will not necessarily be the least common denominator. Okay, so we have a label for the numerator of the answer and a label for the denominator. We also have input a label indicating or, which means it could be a fraction or the decimal form. Choose whichever you need. And we have a label for that decimal form. Now let's go ahead and look at the naming here. We have named the first text box in the numerator 1 as txt numerator 1. And for the denominator now, we have txt denominator 1. For the second fraction, we have txt numerator 2. And the denominator, we have txt denominator 2. Now for the answers, we have LBL num answer. Num stands for numerator. Okay, now we have LBL den answer. Den stands for denominator. And for the decimal form, we have LBL decimal answer. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at this program and see what we have here. Alright, so first we declare our variables. Our first variable is num a as an integer, den a as an integer, decim a as a double. That's very important because we want that to be a decimal form number. Now, we've got num1 as integer, den1 as integer, num2 as integer, and den2 as integer. Now let's go ahead and go into the user input. Here we have num1 is equal to whatever the individual puts in the numerator 1 text box. Den2 is whatever they put in the denominator 1 text box. Num2 will be whatever they put in the numerator 2 text box. And den2 will be whatever they put in the denominator 2 text box. Now as far as the calculations, here we have an if-then statement. Reason for that is because we want to find the most common denominator, or a common denominator. If the denominators are already the same, then they're already common, then all we need to do is add straight across in the numerators. So here, if den1 is equal to den2, then num a, which is the numerator answer in fraction form, is equal to num1 plus num2. Den a, which is the denominator of the answer in the fraction form, will simply equal den1. Again, it could also equal den2 as they are both the same. Doesn't matter. Or else, this case, we would have now to find a common denominator. The way we do this, the most easiest way to find a common denominator is by den1 times den2. That'll give us a common denominator. Now for the numerator section, we'll have to add num1 times den2 plus num2 times den1. Okay, after that, then we'll go ahead and have our num a and den a already established. So to find out in decimal form what that is, we're simply going to make decim a equal num a divided by den a. Now our output will be num a will come out as the numerator answer. Den a will come out as the denominator answer. We're going to convert those to string. Now we're going to convert the decim a into string as well. But one thing I want you to notice is that we've gone ahead and put this F4 in quotation marks, which indicates that we're going to go ahead and give you 4 decimal places for the answer. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and look at the program and see how that runs. Alright, first example, we're going to go ahead with the 1/2 plus 1/2. Now we know 1/2 plus 1/2 will give us 1 in decimal form, and since the denominators are equal, we should add straight across on the numerators to see if that happens. That happens. 1 plus 1 is 2, and the denominator stayed the same as 2, and we have a decimal form of 1. Now let's go ahead and try another one. Now we have 5/5 plus 6/6, which we know 5/5 is 1, and 6/6 is 1, so 1 plus 1 will be 2. Let's see if that comes out. And yes, it is 2. The denominators were multiplied to give you 30, and the math was done on the top to give you 60. Alright, so 60/30 is in fact 2. Alright, so there's my program. My name is Estevan Fisk. Thank you very much for listening. Have a great day.